What's happening, my friends? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Real Prison Talk with Tommy. Ray Patterson, straight out of New Jersey. What's up, RP? Mike Mazik. Salute, Mike. Salute to everyone. And welcome to another episode of Cat Sports, the Box Storian. Today, boxing in Alabama. How is everyone doing this Thursday afternoon? Pulled right up on another weekend. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Storian. That's me, your friendly neighborhood box storian, bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing, the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Yep, starting off another series today. It's going to be the history of boxing in every state in America, coming to you every Thursday. Today, boxing in Alabama. That's the first state in the alphabet, right? Yeah, Alabama. Only two A's, right? Alabama, Arizona. Yeah. ALAR, Alabama. But yeah, they threw us a curve. I thought the final press conference is usually on Thursday, but they had it yesterday for the Gervonta Tank Davis and Frank the Ghost Martin fight. Yeah, they had it on Wednesday. But I guess the weigh-in is still tomorrow. Yeah, the day before the fight. But yeah, I saw I watched it later though. Frank did a little better because the first press conference, remember that one? Tank had him kind of shook, but Frank was making a real effort to do better this time and not look shook. He looked a little hesitant at times, but he did a lot better this time. He still let Tank get all up in his face, you know. I don't know, what do? Do you push back or what? Can't get but so close, you know. But yeah, Frank did a lot better. The body language was a lot better this time and everything. And Frank, I think I heard him predict the knockout. Did I hear right? I just laughed. Wow. Frank said if Tank get in there and don't act right, he said Tank going to sleep. Wow. I got Tank between 6 and 10 though. We're only what now? 2 wake-ups away? No, 1. All we got to do is wake up Friday. No, 2, because it's Saturday. Yeah, that's right. 2 wake-ups away. Benavidez. Got a tough man across from him. Yeah. I got mad respect for the Mexican monster because he went up to a new weight class and jumped right in the fire. Vojnik, I guess that's his name. He's a tough customer and not an easy out. I got the Mexican monster though. Yeah. The Mexican monster, I don't know how he was squeezing down to 168 because he's a big guy, man. He could eventually wind up at heavyweight, at least cruiserweight eventually. Yeah, he's a big guy. He's just as big as Beterbiev, Bivol, all of them up there, light heavyweight. Yeah. I know he walks around over 200, you know. I bet you he does. Or close to it, at least in the 190s. But yeah, got a lot to look forward to this weekend. Two other cards too. I know the big one is Tank and Frank, but we got from Puerto Rico, we got how can I forget his name? Subriel Matias and Liam Parrow. And good card. And we got one from London. Chris William Smith putting his cruiserweight title on the line. Seems like there's always a card from London though. If nothing else, we can always depend on a card from over there. Yeah. Now, somebody was asking me the other day, was the one in London the zone? But I don't know, but I know the one in Puerto Rico is the zone. That's Matias is on the zone, yeah. And of course, the Tank is pay-per-view. How much is it? Is it 90-something? I know Tank fights are usually approaching a yard. 100 smackaroos, man. It's worth it, though. You like those knockouts? Yeah. I think your Tank pretty much told him how he was going to beat him. Said he's going to be splitting those openings, you know. Frank has a pretty good right hand. Left hand. What is Frank? Frank is a southpaw, right? I can't remember. But he's got some power. But, you know, Tank could take it from him, just like he took that left hook from Ryan, remember? Yeah, Tank is good at that kind of stuff, man. Takes his time. And, you know, that power is just different. Like a Wilder, a Better Biab, you know, just different, man. Nobody can stand up under that for 12 rounds. But two people has done it. Pitbull did it. Tank was in there with one hand for like the second half of the fight at least. You know. That's why I always wanted him to rematch Pitbull, because, you know, to get that knockout. Because, you know, a lot of people were saying, oh, we don't want to see Tank versus Pitbull. But then the same people, after Pitbull beat Rolly, oh, Tank Pitbull, Tank Pitbull. Boxing fans are so fickle, man, you know. So back and forth, so inconsistent. They were saying they didn't want Tank and Pitbull, but then when Pitbull got the belt, they were asking Calvin, telling Calvin they wanted to see it. And Calvin said, that's what I was telling you all along. But now you're not getting it. But how is everybody doing this Thursday afternoon? Jay Hardcore in the building. What's up, Jay Hardcore? How are you? I've been missing the hangouts. I've been so busy in the mornings, man. Whew. But we got the Friday night one tomorrow. We're pulling up on it. But today is Boxing in Alabama. Start the new series every Thursday. We're going to go through every state in America and do the history, alphabetical order. So I guess next week will be Arizona, right? I got to look at it because I really don't know. It's only 2 states of age, right? Arizona, Alabama, and Arizona, yeah. But, you know, I knew, but I didn't know. You know, Joe Louis, Evander Holyfield, Deontay Wilder, all those guys from Alabama, and Ernie Shavers. So Alabama's got some pretty good fighters came out of that state, man. And Ernie Shavers. I didn't know that till this morning. Yeah. Ernie's from Alabama. Mm-hmm. Now, Joe Louis fought mainly out of Detroit, remember, but he was born in Alabama. And Evander, when he was 3 or 4, he moved to Atlanta. So Deontay really one of the big 3 that, you know, fought was in Alabama doing his boxing career and everything. He's the one that got the statue. Yeah. We're going to talk about all of that today in a little while. But everybody ready for this big weekend of boxing we got coming up? We got a Friday night card next week. Rafael Espinosa, one of the 126 champions. We've had quite a few Friday night cards this year so far, too. Wow. I can't remember who Espinosa is fighting. I better leave this thing alone, man, because I'm gonna mess around and cut this whole thing off in a minute. Get off of there. There we go. Oh my goodness. Bear with me for a minute. What did I do? Oh Lord, excuse me. Sorry about that. Keep your big fingers to yourself, Cass. I done changed the music. Man, bear with me for a second. There we go. Let me put my hands in my pocket, man. Yesterday I almost ended the stream. You know how you hit end and it asks you, are you sure? That was for people like me because if it didn't give you that second chance, I would have ended it. Yeah. I'm going to leave the volume right there where it's at. But yeah, boxing in Alabama. We're going to talk about the history of boxing in the state. Then we're going to go over some of the boxing clubs and gyms down there. University of Alabama, that big football school, they have a boxing club on the campus. Yeah. We're going to talk about that. Yeah. Have a boxing club at the University of Alabama. Crimson Tide. Yeah. And we're going to talk about, they have a gym there, I think it's called Round One Boxing, where the Alabama State Golden Gloves take place. And the Southeast Regional Finals of the Golden Gloves take place at this boxing club in Alabama. I think it's in Birmingham, called Round One Boxing. We're going to talk about that too. Yep. And then, of course, we're going to look at some of the fighters that came out of Alabama, do a brief profile about their careers, like Deontay, Joe Louis, and Evander Holyfield. I didn't know till yesterday that he got the Bronx Bomber from Joe Louis's Brown Bomber. See, I'm learning too. I did not know that's why he called himself the Bronx Bomber. I thought it had something to do with New York. But what would Deontay Wilder have to do with New York? That's what I thought. The Bronx Bomber, you know. But it's Bronze, not Bronx, like the Bronx, New York. But he got that from Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber. Yeah. Being that they were from the same state and everything, you know. Yeah. Yep. That's where that nickname came from, the Bronx Bomber. See, I'm learning too. There's something new every day. But yeah, every Thursday, it's the history of one state in America. I didn't want to do it every day because that would have probably bored you. But Jay, yesterday's show was brought to us by you, Jay. I did the one on knockouts. Remember you gave me that idea about the best knockouts? I had 25 of the most spectacular knockouts of all time, man. And everybody stayed. I had a full chat for the entire time. And yesterday, because every Wednesday, it's a show I get out of the chat. And yesterday's show on knockouts was brought to you by Jay Hardcore. So now you got to go back and watch it. It was a pretty good show. I had Tank and Leo Santa Cruz, that one. Wilder and Hellenius. Sugar Ray knocked out Gene Foreman. Of course, Foreman and Michael Moorer. Hearns, Roberto Duran, remember that one? And I had the one where your mom fainted at too, Jay. Tyson and Michael Spinks, the 91 second one. Yeah, I had a whole 25 knockouts yesterday we went over. It was a pretty good show. Brought to you by J Hardcore, #JBT. Yep. So, you know, I still need ideas for shows. But Remo gave me a whole truckload of them in case I don't get one from anybody else. Remo got me in good shape. And it can be a profile, too, on a former boxer. I'll just do 2 of them. Oh, you're on your way to the press conference? They had one yesterday. They have another one today, Jay? I saw a press. What was that press conference yesterday from? I thought that was the final one. Okay. Very interesting. Yesterday, Frank just about promised a knockout. He said something to the effect, if Tank come in there messing around, he's going to knock him out or something. I just laughed. I think part of the audience laughed too. But Frank did better. He did better than that because he was really shook that first one. He let Tank get in his face a little, but Frank's body language was a lot better. He was a little shook now, but he did a lot better than that first one. He didn't look at no phones and nothing like that, like the first one. Yeah, his body language was way better. Earl and Tank had a few spicy things to say. Tank was saying something about what he was going to do, and Earl was like, to who? Come on, Earl. You at 154. Tank said 135. Who do you think he was talking about? Come on, Earl. Get it together. You got Pandora problems, Mr. Spence. You got Pandora problems, so you know. But yeah, Earl was sitting right there next to Derrick James too. I thought that was interesting. I don't know if they greeted each other or anything. They didn't show us all that. I would have liked to seen the walk-in, you know, when they were first taking their seats on the stage and everything. But yeah, one guy's the trainer, one guy's the promoter, so they have to interact, right? Probably. But you know, they are professionals, so you know, they know how to deal with it. Yeah. Pulled right up on this, the Boxing Menu Podcast Plus. What's up, Boxing Menu Podcast Plus? I got Real Prison Talk with Coach Tommy pinned, so everybody can go over there and subscribe to him, then come right back over here. Don't stay over there now. Coach, come right back. And Coach said he had his first video up. And tomorrow is going to be a wild day, starting at 7. Angry White Men with William Old School Rant and D1. And that name fits both of them like a glove. Angry White Men. They can be sitting there calm. They go from 0 to 100 in about 2 seconds. Both of them, okay? So be very careful. Tread lightly when you go in that chat. Be very careful in there. And then after Angry White Men, tomorrow it's Friday. Guess what? The Friday night hangout follows right behind Angry White Men. That's going to be a wild couple of hours. And you know, the Friday night hangout is BYOW. Bring your own whatever. You know. I'm going to be here at 2 with the profile tomorrow. It's going to be John Henry Lewis, close personal friend of Joe Lewis. You know, I told you earlier in the week, Joe Lewis, they were good friends, and John Henry Lewis was going blind in one eye. And Joe Lewis knew the boxing commissions was about ready to take John Henry's license from him due to his eye issues. So Joe gave him one last fight so he could get a nice payday, because Joe was the cash cow. You know how everybody wanted the Tank fight. Everybody was trying to get the Joe Lewis fight back in them days, right? So he gave his good friend a nice one more last payday. And guess what else? Joe didn't take it easy on him. Joe got him out of there in the first round so he wouldn't do too much damage to his eye. Now, that's a good friend. Knock him out in the first round so he won't do any more damage to him. What a friend. What a friend's for. But that was very nice of Joe. John Henry. And guess what? John Henry Lewis only fought 8 years. He had over 100 fights. The man averaged 14 fights per year. Now, he was doing some fighting. That's probably what happened to his eye. All that punishment. 14 fights a year? 100-something fights in 8 years? John Henry wasn't playing. You know, but back then guys stayed in shape. If that call came, you were ready to go. You know, you could take a fight on like Boots. Somebody had to, Avenesian got to take this fight on about a month's notice. He was ready to take a fight on 2 days' notice back then. You know, yeah. But salute to everybody in the chat today. Appreciate you for stopping by. We're going to get started in about 5 minutes. We're waiting on Lonnie Lee and a couple other people. I just wait until 2:30 so they don't miss too much, because, you know, like they take Lonnie, for example. Lonnie's here every day. So it wouldn't be right for me to start at 2 and have him miss so much of the show. He only missed like 5 minutes because he gets off at 2:30. Then there's that first red light catches him here, check in, do the red light testing. We all know about that, the red light testing, right? Justin James, hashtag JBT. What's up, Justin James? And what was that press conference they had yesterday? Did I say Justin James, hashtag JBT? Yeah, that's important. So I was wondering, I would say, what was they doing having the final press conference on a Wednesday? But it is today. Okay. That's ordinary. Yeah. I want to see it because, you know, like I said, Frank did a lot better Um, this time his body language was a lot better because that first one, man, he was shook. Tank got all up in his face and had him looking at his phone. Man, I would have smacked that phone out of his hand, man. I ain't looking at your phone. What's wrong with you? Look at your own phone. I got a phone if I don't look at it. If I don't look at this phone, I got it on my phone too. I ain't looking at your phone, but Frank was there looking. Somebody on his team, remember, actually tried to pull him back so he wouldn't do it, but Frank snatched away and did it anyway. But he did a lot better yesterday. I think he was told to do a lot better because that first one was not good for Frank. But I thought I heard him say that he was going to stop Tank. Okay, let's get ready to talk about boxing in Alabama. For anybody that didn't hear, it's every Thursday is going to be boxing on one of the states in America, alphabetical order. So I guess next week got to be Arizona, right? Yeah. I'm on my phone again, so hope it sound okay. Excuse me for 1 minute. I'm going to open this window up because it's kind of hot. Miss Cass, you don't have that heat on, do you? 80 degrees outside. She'll do it. 80 degrees outside. Miss Cass had the heat on 80. Okay. I better be cool. I work for her. I'm an employee of Cass Sports. She ain't paying me much now. We done took away a little bit that I'm getting. Okay. Let's get ready to get started. Oh, that breeze feels good. But salute to everybody. We pulled up on another weekend. 3 big fight cards. The big one is Tank Davis versus Frank Martin, the face of boxing in action again. Subriel Matias fighting at home in Puerto Rico against Liam Parrow. That should be a good one. And then the big one from London is Chris Billiam-Smith putting his cruiserweight title on the line. I don't know who he's fighting, but we got 3 big cards. You can always count on a card from over there, London, Wales, Scotland, somewhere over there every week. You know, they always got something going on. How's everybody this Thursday afternoon, though? I look forward to 2 o'clock every day. 8 a.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and 9 p.m. and 8 o'clock on Fridays. That's the daily JBT shows. And now we got 7 o'clock on Friday. Coach Thomas Morris has started his show, Real Prison Talk with Tommy, and the link is pinned up there. So go subscribe and then get on back over here. Okay, don't make me come into the chat and step to nobody. Subscribe to Coach and come on back over here. I don't know if I don't see your name for a long time if you didn't come back. But Coach first video is up too. Yep. But Angry White Men tomorrow. 2 angry white men are going to be up there chopping it up at 7 o'clock tomorrow, right before the hangout. But be very careful in there because that name fits them. There are 2 angry white men, and they go from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. William Old School and Rant and D1. Y'all know both of them. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that. But right now, it's boxing in Alabama. They call Alabama the something state. It's in here. I'm going to say it. How come I'm not on page 1 of my notes? I'm on page 7. I think when I opened that window, the thing blew back and moved my page on. Today is Thursday the 13th. Everybody always talk about Friday the 13th, bad luck. What about Thursday the 13th? Is that bad luck? Okay, boxing in Alabama today. Just a history. We're going to start out with just like a history and talk, just a general talk about boxing in the state, you know. Of course, we had the big 3. Joe Louis was born there, but he lived, boxed out of Detroit mainly. Wasn't it Detroit, Joe Louis? And then Evander Holyfield was born in Alabama, but he moved to Atlanta, Georgia when he was 3 or 4. Deontay is the only one of the 3 that actually lived in Alabama while he fought. And that's why Deontay was the one that got the statue. Okay? Deontay had a brother a few years back that was a cruiserweight. I don't know if he's still boxing. I remember his brother like 2017, 18, something like that. Was a cruiserweight. I think he was still in the amateurs at that time. I'm not sure. I don't know what he's doing now. But yeah, he had a younger brother that was a boxer, yeah. Deontay did. Yeah. Told you I'm learning too. But I knew that. I already knew that about his brother. And Deontay has 4 losses now, but he still has that 97% knockout rate. He's got the highest knockout rate in heavyweight history. Okay, boxing in Alabama. Let's do it. Anybody come in? No? Okay. Go subscribe to Coach and come on back. Don't make me come over there and get you. Okay? I will do it. Y'all know I don't play. Now, when Deontay Wilder fought Eric Molina on June 13, 2015 at Bartow Arena in Birmingham, Alabama, history was made. Now, it was Wilder's first defense of his World Boxing Council WBC heavyweight title, and it was also the first heavyweight title fight ever in Alabama. Birmingham, Alabama. Yep, Bartow Arena. So, now Wilder is not the state's first native son to be a heavyweight boxing champion, though. Atmore native Evander Holyfield and Joe Louis Burrell each won title belts. You know, you know him more commonly as Joe Louis. But Evander Holyfield and Joe Louis Burrell won belts previously to Deontay winning the heavyweight title. Now, Holyfield, he moved to Atlanta, Georgia when he was 4 years old. I knew it was 3 or 4. He moved to Atlanta when he was 4. But he joined Joe Louis. Joe Louis is from Lafayette, Alabama. And both of them are in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Joe Louis went in decades ago. Evander went in 2015. I don't think Deontay's in it yet. I guess you got to be retired to get in any of the Halls of Fame, right? I know the international is 5 years, I believe. I guess the various ones have different. You know, each state has their own for fighters and athletes from that state, and then the international is the big prestigious one. Azim Shabazz, what's up, bro? Azim Shabazz from Philly in the building. Azim boxed. Told me last week he sparred with some pretty big time guys, man. Yeah, Azim Shabazz, yeah. I forgot he said he had a big time guy that was a trainer too. You know, I can't remember that for a whole week, Azim. I can't even remember what somebody told me yesterday. But put it in there, Azim. Who your trainer was? But salute. I forgot. But it's a well-known name guy. Watch when he put it in there. But okay, let's get back to this. Now, yeah, Joe Louis and Evander is in the Alabama Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame. It's for any kind of athlete from the state, not just boxing. Now, Wilder's first heavyweight title defense may have been the first on Alabama soil. The Yellowhammer State, that's what they call it. But the Yellowhammer State has had a much longer reach when it comes to boxing history. And Alabama's boxing history dates back at least to the 1920s and 1930s. Yeah, way back there. Long history. You know, you don't think of Alabama as a boxing state, but the sport's been around down there for a while. That's why I'm doing this series. Boxing in every state in America. Today, Alabama. Now, back in the 20s, that's when Mobile's Eugene Tillman Sr. laced up the boxing gloves. Yes, I got a picture of Eugene. There's Eugene right there. Eugene Tillman Sr. There he is. His son also boxed. Now, yeah, Eugene laced them up back in the 20s and 30s. And he stepped into the ring and fought about over 125 times, right? And in those days, there was little money and no ratings for professional boxers, right? According to his son, Jack Tillman. Now, Jack was a boxer too a little later. And Jack said, I drew big crowds. And Jack was also the Mobile County Sheriff, okay, after his boxing career. And he said his father only made about $150 a fight during the Depression. $150 a fight to go up there and get hit upside the head and stuff. Wow. That's terrible. But you know, you love it. So, hey, that's what he did. $150 a fight. Isn't that amazing? So, okay. Now, let's move on. Now, Jack Tillman, his son, let me put Jack up there. There's Jack. That's the son right there. Could be split an image just for the different hairdos, right? That's his father, Eugene Tillman, right? And that's his son. When his father was around that same age. You can tell their father and son. Both got that little pointy nose. But Jack Tillman, he said when he was boxing, he was making $8,000, $10,000, $8,000 to $12,000, right? And he said back then, even to the 60s and 70s, ringside seats were only $6 a seat. Wow. And Jack also said if he was fighting today, he said he'd be a millionaire. I never heard of him, but Jack said he was like that. Saying he was like that. Now, him and his brothers, they learned to box from their father, right? Eugene, who was a boxer. Now, Jack wasn't supposed to become a professional boxer because he had signed to play baseball at the University of South Alabama. But that changed when he went from becoming a sparring partner for his older brother, Joe. And one time he was at this fight, his brother was on the card, and they asked him to fill in, right? Because he happened to be there. And he said he took the fight, and so he said he won it, and they enjoyed it, and that pretty much did away with his baseball career. He said he was in there against a good old boy, a boy who had 20-something fights, and that was his first one. And he said before he knew it, I had won 20 fights in a row. And that's basically how I got started with boxing. And during his career, he was a top 10 welterweight. Jack Tillman. That's him on the screen. I'm gonna have to look him up when I get time. Yeah. Top 10 welterweight during his career. Back in the 60s. Yeah, Jack Tillman. Okay. Now, about 5 decades ago, Gordonsville, Alabama native Eddie Surratt, he was a promoter. There's Eddie. Got a good promoter's name, first name, Eddie. He promoted Mobile boxing shows, including his son. And he continued promoting boxing until about 10 years ago. So he promoted a long time, decades. Started way back in the 50s and 60s. And he said when he started promoting, the guy I just talked about, Jack Tillman, he was ranked number 3 in the world. Wow. He said he was a top 10 welterweight. Now, JD's, right? He was, I don't know, is he still affiliated with Wilder? He used to be his manager and trainer or something like that. Now, JD's, who is a boxing trainer and manager, used to be affiliated with Wilder. I think he might still be. Him and his brother, Tommy, they started the Sky Boxing Gym in Tuscaloosa, Alabama in 1995, right? And in 1995, I can never find my marker to keep my place with. I should have just left it in the store. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now JD's, him and his brother started the Sky Boxing Gym, right? 1995. Now JD said boxing picked up as an active sport in the 60s and 70s. Birmingham and Tuscaloosa fell off in the 80s, but Mobile took the lead in the state going into the 90s. Then Tuscaloosa came back strongly as the new century began. Now, the Alabama Boxing Commission governed professional boxing until then Governor Bob James disbanded it in the 1970s. I don't know why he did that. Now, the boxing commissions of other states came to regulate boxing in Alabama. JD said even the Illinois Commission came in and regulated fights. Now, that changed in 2005 when the Association of Boxing Commissions passed a bill that said each state had to have its own commission due to liability concerns. Now, ain't that something? The Association of Boxing Commissions is a group of state boxing commissions. So they do have a governing body over them. So why don't they have like one set of rules in place for each state? They have the tools in place to do that, but boxing just refuses to do it. They got an organization called the Association of Boxing Commissions, which is supposed to govern the state boxing commissions. So why do we have all these different rules from state to state? Like you can stack here, you can't stack there, you can do this here, you can't do that there. Boxing is a trip because they had the tools in place to get their act together, but they just refused to. Okay, I didn't even know there was an Association of Boxing Commissions, but there is. And they're supposed to oversee the state boxing commissions, but they don't. But anyway, Mike Rim in the building. What's up, Mike Rim? I just thought that was strange. They have an association of state boxing commissions, but got different rules in every state. But they stepped in when Alabama didn't have it, disbanded their boxing commission and said each state must have one, right? So if they can do that, why can't they say each state must go by these set of rules we put in there? They refuse to do it. It's not like they can't. But anyway, they stepped in and said each state must have their own boxing commission due to liability concerns. Now, boxing supporters in Alabama lobbied the legislature for years to reestablish the boxing commission. But their pleas fell on deaf ears until Wilder gave them an Iwo Jima moment. You know how soldiers hoisting a flag on the battlefield galvanized America during World War II. Wilder's Olympic bronze medal had a similar effect in the campaign for a boxing commission in Alabama. Okay? And they have one now because the Association of Boxing Commissions stepped in and told them they had to have their own. You can't have other states coming into your state regulating your fights. You have to do it yourself. Mainly due to liability concerns. Okay? Now, JD said, we came up with literature with a picture of Deontay that said, he can fight for his country, but he can't fight in his home state. So since they didn't have a boxing commission, they couldn't have any fights in Alabama, right? But Deontay fought there like 2015, so yeah, they had one there. But JD said they made a campaign saying, a poster saying, Deontay can fight in the Olympics for his country, but he can't fight in his own home state. That was neat. And he said that did the trick. All of a sudden, they galvanized the support that we needed to get our boxing commission back. Okay? Now, Deontay has chiseled his name into Alabama boxing history. He won the national championship as an amateur, the USA Boxing National Championship, the Golden Gloves National Championship, and the Olympic trials. Deontay had a pretty good amateur career. And he was, like 20 years old when he started? Something like that. Yeah, started late. Just think if he would have started like 7 or 8, had all that muscle memory and thing, the man would probably be unstoppable. You know? Say he'd have started like around the time Tank started. Have all that power, that muscle memory, and all those added skills to it, man. Can you imagine that? That would be scary. Deontay Wilder with that kind of boxing background. Wow. Okay. Now, when he won the bronze medal in the Olympics in 2008, that was the only medal the United States won in boxing that year. I think it was in Beijing. Yeah, Beijing, China. I did not know that. Deontay Wilder's bronze medal in 2008 was the only medal the United States won in that entire Olympics as far as boxing. Wow. I know it was kind of short. They didn't kind of win. They had a little rough time, 92, 96, all during that stretch. Because that was after those good teams, all-time teams of 76, 84. Yeah, those were some fire teams here. Arguably two of the best Olympic teams ever of any country, 76 and 84. 76, Sugar Ray Leonard, the Spinks brothers, Howard Davis Jr., Leo Randolph. 84 had Holyfield, Sweet Pea, one of the McCoy brothers, a few of them. Very good team. But yeah, then they fell on hard times a little bit as far as boxing in the Olympics. And I told you the other day when I did the amateur show that boxing has not been dropped from the Olympics. You hear people running around saying that, but it has not been dropped. Okay, they don't have the organization that governs boxing in the Olympics. The International Olympic Committee stopped recognizing him. So boxing does not have a governing body that oversees it in the Olympics right now. But the IOC said if they have one in place by early 2025, boxing will be in the 2028 Olympics. And the good news is there is an organization called World Boxing that's applying for that spot. And even if they don't get an organization in boxing, it's not in the 2028 Olympics. It still is not permanently dropped because they very well could have an organization in place to govern it by 2032. So anybody saying boxing has been dropped permanently from the Olympics don't know what they're talking about, okay? You hear something on Cast Sports that has been researched and verified. I have seen it in black and white. Boxing has not permanently been dropped from the Olympics, okay? It might be in 2028, okay? But let's get back to this. I've heard people saying that, it's not true. Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, T Hill? And Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT. Thomas Hill, hashtag JBT. And Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT in the building. See, that's why I wait till 2:30. So my people, my friends, and everybody won't miss too much of the show. Really basically just getting started, okay? But Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT. Thomas Hill, hashtag JBT. Just boxing talk. That's all it is. That's what we do over here in the JBT. And don't forget that 55-inch color TV is up. Somebody gonna get it for $10. Okay? I got two 55-inch TVs and I paid way more than $10 for them. I can't get the commercial to play. It says it's the wrong size, but I can give you word of mouth. Send $10 per chance, however many chances you want. It's wide open. You can buy as many tickets as you want to. You ever heard of a raffle where people say, well, you can only get so many tickets? What's wrong with them? You're supposed to get unlimited tickets. They don't like money. But has $ JBT all caps. JBT Network 1. And we challenged everybody to get one a day. I got one the other day. They came during my show, so I'm taking credit for it. Anybody apply between 2 and 4, I take credit for it. Send $10 or however many chances you want. Like if you want 5 chances, send 50 to that Cash App right there. Okay? Thank you. Somebody's going to win it. $10 for a 55-inch TV. Okay, let's get back to the show. Now, the Bronx Bomber, as Deontay Wilder calls himself, he's now among the boxing greats the state has produced. Now, these are some of them that include, I'm going to talk about some more boxers from Alabama later, but right now, those greats include Ernie Shavers. He's from Garland, Alabama. right? He came within an eyelash of a heavyweight championship as he lost on a unanimous decision to Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali later said Shavers was the hardest puncher he ever faced. He said, when Ernie hit me, it shook my kinfolks back in Africa. Okay, that's how Ernie is hitting. Okay, let me see. I think I got Ernie. There's JD's right there. I think JD's is still affiliated with Wilder, right? He used to be his manager or something. I'm not sure. But there's Ernie and Muhammad right there. That might be the punch that shook his kinfolks back in Africa. Heard Ali say that, yeah. BN Boxing News, back in the United States. Salute BN Boxing News. I know you enjoyed that vacation because you was all over the way, calling from Paris and the next day Belgium or somewhere. But BN Boxing News deserves a vacation. He's the hardest working man I know. The man is always at work. You at work right now to be in Boxing News, see? But a well-deserved vacation, and it looked like he enjoyed it. Salute BN Boxing News. And got a fire channel too. Hard-working man and got a fire channel. I know all of us is subscribed. But turn your notifications on and hit all because you don't have a set time and you want all of that fire content. Salute BN Boxing News. Ryan Frazier in the building. What's up, Ryan? Ryan was a part of that fire JBT panel discussion Monday. That was fire, man. I really enjoyed that. If anybody didn't see that Monday, go back and watch that show. We had an all-star panel. Ryan was part of it, yeah. But salute Ryan Frazier. Good to see you again, bro. We're talking about boxing in Alabama today. I started a new series every Thursday. It's going to be boxing in a state in America. I'm going to do the whole country alphabetically. Today is Alabama. So I guess next week could be Arizona, right? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Ernie Shavers never won a title, but he came close. One of the hardest punches out there, though. Yeah. Now, in this era, Ernie would probably be undisputed, but he just fought in a tough era for heavyweights, man, the golden era. You know, Ali, Foreman, Frazier, Norton, Holmes, you know, Jerry Cooney, Bonavina, and it goes on and on, man. So, you know, a lot of some of these guys that's champion nowadays at heavyweight wouldn't be champion back then. Like Fury and Usyk. Those are the only two champions at heavyweight, right? So yeah, I don't know if they would be able to get a belt back then, man. That was the golden era. Okay, now let's continue. Another guy from Alabama, James Hughes. He's from Mobile, Alabama. Now he was about to get a title shot in the 1980s, right? And in the 90s, he captured the USBA welterweight championship belt, right? He was a welterweight. And he headed toward a big payday before he was murdered. His body was found with bullet holes face down in a swamp near his hometown. Shortly after his fight with Nick Rupa in 1995, yeah. He was on his way to a title shot. He got murdered. James Hughes. There's James. Yeah, that's James right there. Bear with me for a second. I suppose I've been keeping track. Ernie Shavers. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Wait a minute. Yeah, James Hughes. That was James. Bear with me for another minute. Sorry. Gotta get my slide this way together. Yeah, just James Hughes right there. Yeah, he was murdered on the way to a title shot. Never got the opportunity. Well, he was a USBA champion. That was like a minor belt. Yeah. I guess you could call it like they didn't have interims back then, but that would be like an interim, you know, up under the big ones. 95, we had the WBA, WBC, and the IBF at the time. We had the WBO, but it wasn't highly recognized yet. Yeah. Because the WBO was just giving anybody title shots, and the WBC and the WBA and IBF wasn't recognizing them yet. And once the WBC recognized them, the other two fell in place. Yeah. Mauricio's father was running it then, of course. But yeah, James got murdered before he got a chance for his title shot. Another good boxer from Alabama was Nick Taliaferro. I like James Hat. Yeah, y'all like James Hat? Yeah. Nick Taliaferro was from Alabama. Mm-hmm. I gotta check you off now. Nick Taliaferro. No, Pete Taliaferro, sorry. He won the featherweight, super featherweight, and lightweight world titles. 3-division world champion. He won 34 of his professional fights in the 1990s. Mm-hmm. Pete Taliaferro. Also, we had Randall Yonkers. Okay, there's Randall. Yeah, now Randall fought out of Mobile, Alabama. He won the North American Boxing Federation, NABF, another one of those minor titles. But like late 60s, early 70s, NABF was a big deal. That was the first title Ali won when he came back from his suspension. In 1970, he beat Oscar Bonavena for it, yeah. But by that time, it was just minor by the time Ryan, well, I don't even know when Ryan had it. But he had it, okay? He won a North American title, and he lost it. He had a shot, I believe it was the WBA, but he lost that. But he did have the NABF, okay? Randall Yonkers. Then, Byron Mitchell is from Alabama. Ozark, Alabama, I believe. Byron Mitchell. Okay? Take Byron off. Now, Byron Mitchell, he began boxing out of Johnny Trawick's Wolfpack Boxing Gym. That's also in Ozark, Alabama, where Byron was from. And Byron won the WBA super middleweight title in 1999, but he lost it the next year. Then he recaptured it again in 2000. So 2-time middleweight champion, Byron Mitchell. And I'm going to talk about a few more champions later in a little while. D for the win in the building. What's up, D for the win? And Melanin Queen 27 in the building. What's up, Melanin Queen 27? I keep losing my thing that I used to keep my place. I have a hard time today, but bear with it. What's up, D for the win? Melanin Queen 27. Boxing in Alabama today. I'm going through all the states every Thursday. History of boxing in one of the states in America. Today, Alabama. That means next week will be Arizona. I forgot what they called Alabama already. The yellow something state. Okay. Now, Alabama has about 100 silver glove and golden glove boxers in its amateur ranks. There are 25 to 30 active professional boxers in the state. And JD said that number is growing. It's not as high as it's ever been, but it's climbing, he said. Deontay's success has sparked a lot of people who are either interested in reviewing their careers or interested in reviving their careers or starting a professional career. Okay? Yeah, Deontay Wilder brought a lot of interest to boxing in Alabama. Because remember, Joe Louis left for Alabama at a young age, and so did Evander. Evander was 4. He moved to Georgia. But Deontay stayed there his entire career and fought out of Alabama, remember? Byron Mitchell. I did him. Yeah, I'm right on track. Okay. Everybody smashed on the appreciation button. I appreciate it. Oh, man, the likes are, we're going to get 40 today. 20 already. Appreciate it. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more in the building. What's up, Bruce Gas? I call him historian, but Bruce Gass said he just loves the sport. Okay. Bruce Gass was the winner of the inaugural CAS Sports History Test too. Bruce Gass came in for like the last 11 questions and just swept everybody under the rug and won it. Mm-hmm. When Bruce Gass stepped into the building, I said, "Uh-oh." He was asking the questions before I was finished asking. But salute, Bruce Gass. Always good to see you, bro. How are you today? Hope everything is going well for you. Good brother there, Bruce Gass. Yep. Okay. I got my place marker right here. I didn't even use it. I done lost it again. Okay, I'm going to use my big finger. Now, we're going to talk about some boxing clubs and gyms in Alabama right now, okay? Some boxing clubs and gyms. Now, like I told you yesterday, the University of Alabama has a boxing club. The big football school, yeah, always winning the national championships and stuff. They got a boxing club down there in, is it in Tuscaloosa? I think. In the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, I don't know. Somewhere down there. But anyway, it's called the Alabama Boxing Club. The University of Alabama Boxing Club is a group of students who are interested in learning, practicing, and perfecting the art of boxing. Excuse me. All skill levels are accepted, whether that be multiple years or none at all. The club practices 3 times each week to get in shape, practice old skills, and learn new ones. University of Alabama Boxing Club. Okay? We're talking about some gyms and stuff in Alabama right now. Then they have one called the Battle Republic. Excuse me. Drinking a beer. That was a good one. You know how you get a good sip and belch? I'm glad y'all didn't hear that. It's Thursday, the weekend for me. My weekend starts on Thursday. Now, Battle Republic is a boxing-inspired fitness gym with locations in Birmingham, Homewood, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama. They offer a combination of boxing, on the bag, and floor work. The boxing portion consists of intense bag work designed to elevate your heart rate and burn calories. You'll learn 6 key punches at the Battle Republic and use gel cushion wraps on a state-of-the-art water bag. Now, the floor work portion includes kettlebell and body weight exercises, as well as hip movements designed to build your strength and agility. Every class is high energy, non-stop action that engages body and mind. So it's fast and fun. Then we got the Sky Boxing Gym. That's run by JD's and his brother. Is JD still Deontay's manager? I don't know when he got rid of Mark Breland, if he just started out fresh when he brought this other guy in. But I know JD's was affiliated with Deontay. I don't know. Anybody know? Drop it in there because I'm not sure. But Sky Boxing Gym is run by JD's and his brother. Now, Sky Boxing Gym is the home of former heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. Sky Boxing Gym was started in 1995 by brothers Jay and Tommy Dees. And JD's. I had JD's. There's JD's right there. I don't know if that's not JD's. There's JD. I don't know if he's still affiliated with Wilder or not. Now, the gym sprang from a deep passion for boxing and a great love and respect for fighters. Okay? The environment is always friendly, and members of the gym range from small children to seniors. Sky Boxing Gym offers full pro-style boxing workouts that are tailor-made to meet your individual needs. The staff is extremely knowledgeable and experienced. Sky Boxing Gym is located in Northport, Alabama. Sky Boxing Gym. Just a few of the gyms down there. That's all we're doing. Okay? Yeah, that's all. Then Wolfgang Boxing Gym. Now, Wolfgang Boxing Gym is not your traditional boxing gym. At Wolfgang Boxing, You don't have to be the best athlete. You'll always know you're a valued member and part of the team each and every day. This isn't one of those mega gyms where you'll never be recognized and just be another member. And it's in Dothan, Alabama. Okay? That's like one more gym to talk about. Then we're going to talk about some of the fighters from Alabama. Do little profiles. Okay? And the last one is round one boxing. Now, at this gym is where the Alabama State Golden Glove Championships take place, and the Southeast Regional Championships take place there sometime of the Golden Gloves tournament. Yep. It's called round one boxing. Now, whether you're wanting to learn the box completely or just looking to get into the best shape of your life, round one boxing in Birmingham, Alabama has something for everyone. Men, women, boys, girls, young and old. As a fully equipped boxing gym, round one has 2 full-size rings, heavy bags, speed bags, treadmills, jump ropes, gloves, free weights, and more. Round one boxing is the franchise holder of the Alabama Golden Gloves and the Southeast Regional Golden Gloves Championships and the Silver Gloves boxing program. They have over 20 years of training competitive athletes, men, women, and children, for health and or competition. Okay? Now we're going to talk about some boxers from Alabama and a little brief profile on them. Of course, the first one is going to be Deontay Wilder. There's Deontay. Yeah. I should have made that my thumbnail. Okay, Deontay Wilder. Okay. Now, Deontay Wilder was born October 22nd, 1985 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He held the World Boxing Council WBC heavyweight title from 2015 to 2020. Okay? Now, Wilder was the first American heavyweight champion since 2007 when he won it in 2015, which was the longest period of time in boxing history without an American heavyweight champion. And since Wilder lost the title in 2020, he has been the last American heavyweight champion. So 4 years and 7 years is the longest time in history without an American heavyweight champion, and we're working on that again, 3 more years. Now, currently, Wilder's pro record is 43 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 42 knockouts. His knockout to win ratio of 97.67% is the highest in heavyweight boxing history. 97.67%. Might as well say 98. If it's over 50, I go to the next number. So 98% knockout rate. Where they do that at? That's crazy. But haven't got nobody out of there lately. Deontay. But he says he's coming back. So looking forward to that. Okay. Just a little brief profile on these guys from Alabama. Next is Joe Louis. Could have had a better picture of Joe. I was kind of rushing. There's Joe Louis. Yeah, that's Joe. Joe Louis. Now, he was born May 13th, 1914 in Lafayette, Alabama. Moved to Detroit at a young age. His boxing career was out of Detroit, right? Known as the Detroit fighter, but born in Alabama. The Brown Bomber is widely thought of as one of the greatest and most influential boxers of all time, right? He reigned as world heavyweight champion for 12 consecutive years, from 1937 to 1949, which is a record. His 25 consecutive successful title defense is a record for all weight classes in boxing, right? And I always talk about that. It's not just the 25 title defenses. You got to look at what he was doing during them. Only 2 people out of that 25 went the distance with him. 15 knockouts in the first 5 rounds, 6 in the first round, all while fighting 5, 6, 7 times per year. That's why I call Joe Louis the greatest, because that's greatest type stuff there. Mm-hmm. And Joe Louis is the only boxer to reign as world champion throughout an entire decade. Now Ricardo Lopez only missed by a few months because Ricardo dropped his strawweight belt to go up to junior flyweight and became champion there. He dropped his belt in late '98 and became champion in early '99. So he missed the entire decade of the '90s just by a few months. But technically, Joe Louis is the only boxer to reign as champion throughout an entire decade. And also, I just mentioned his 12-year reign as heavyweight champion is a record for all of boxing. And Joe Louis finished his professional career with a record of 66 wins, 3 losses, 52 knockouts. And he is a member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Went in on the inaugural year of 1990 into the old timers category. Joe Louis, y'all. Next, Evander Holyfield, the real deal. The real deal, Holyfield. Come on, Holyfield. Where are you? I done got out of order. Oh, he's up there. My bad. I didn't know he was up there. Evander Holyfield is next. Now, Evander Holyfield was born October 10th, 1962 in Atmore, Alabama. That's 4 days before me and Aunt's birthday. Our birthday is October 14th. About 30 years apart, though. Yeah, I got Aunt by like 30 years. But he can still break down and fight, though. Casual's Corner, Aunt McQueen. Okay? You haven't watched the fight until you watch one after Casual's Corner breakdown. Now, Evander Holyfield, he had a 27-year career spanning from 1984 to 2011. Longevity. And he reigned as the undisputed champion at cruiserweight in the late 1980s and at heavyweight in the early 1990s. He was the first boxer to be undisputed in 2 weight classes with at least 3 belts. Okay, 3-belt era. He was undisputed in 2 weight classes, right? A feat that has been surpassed by Clarissa Shields, Terrence Crawford, Katie Taylor, Naoya Inoue, and Alexander Usyk, who all became undisputed champions in the 4-belt era. Okay? Now, the real deal Holyfield, he is still the only 4-time world heavyweight champion. Only one. Yep. And Evander finished his career with a record of 44 wins, 10 losses. Wow. I didn't know he had that many. 2 draws, 1 no contest, 21 knockouts. And he's a member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. I know everybody know what that no contest was from, right? The bite fight with Tyson. The bite fight. Yeah, that was his 1 no contest. And Holyfield stood there while Tyson was biting his hair off. Why didn't he move or something? Tyson was standing there chewing. You don't just take nobody's head and bite it off. You got to chew it off, right? So what was Evander doing? Couldn't he feel that? Did he think it was a punch? I don't know. It's just crazy. I don't understand that at all. Next is Bill Tate, though. Bear with me for one more second again. I forgot to do so. Evander Holyfield. Bill Tate is next. There's Bill. It is Bill. Bill Tate. I cannot believe how this time is going by. It's almost 3:15, and I've only been on here like 15 minutes. I thought it was like 2:45. Anyway, Bill Tate was born September 19th in 1896 in Montgomery, Alabama. He spent his fighting career based in Chicago, Illinois. Tate was a regular sparring partner of heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey. Okay? Yet, Dempsey denied Tate a shot at the title. And he was a sparring partner. It's crazy. Tate beat the great Sam Langford for the World Colored Heavyweight Championship on January 25th, 1917. Wait a minute. Tate. Is he colored? It got to be the fight for the World Colored Championship. Yeah. He beat Sam Langford for the World Colored Heavyweight Championship on January 25th, 1970. I mean black. That's what they call it, colored back then. Okay. But Langford reclaimed the title in the rematch on May 25th later that same year. Wow. Sam ended his professional career with a record of 27 wins, 19 losses, 2 draws, and 22 knockouts. Now that's unofficial because back in that period he fought in, a lot of times they didn't keep the records up to date. So a lot of those guys' records are not really known what the true record is, but they have it as 27 wins, 19 losses, 2 draws, 22 knockouts. I hope they got the losses wrong, but that's a lot, 19. Ooh. Damn, Bill, he won 27 and lost 19. He almost lost as many as he won. Very interesting. Okay, let's move on though. Next is Frankie Randall. Y'all know Frankie Randall, right? He was the one that beat. Oh, you know what? I'm all. That's Bill right there. I get ready to say, this man here ain't fighting for no colored championship. This one, no. I'm sorry. That's Bill right here. No, that's Bill Tate. No, it ain't. Oh, come on. Wait a minute. That's Bill Tate on the right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. Now, I know this is Frankie Randall. He's next. He was the man that stopped that 80-something fight winning streak by Julio Cesar Chavez. Now, to be fair, Julio Cesar had about 2 losses by then. He got some gifts. But officially, he was 89-0 when he fought Frankie Randall. Now, Frankie was born September 25th, 1961, in Birmingham, Alabama. Okay? From Birmingham. He competed for 18 years, from 1983 to 2005. He was a 3-time junior welterweight world champion. But Randall is best known for being the first fighter to defeat Julio Cesar Chavez after Chavez's incredible run of 89 wins without a loss. Now, Julio did have 1 draw in there, but he was 89-0 with 1 draw. And that fight happened in 1994. And Randall ended his career with a record of 58 wins, 18 losses, 1 draw, 42 by way of knockout. Frankie Randall. Okay. Next, Tracy. Oh, wait a minute. I got my mixed up here, man. Next is Tracy Harris Patterson. Yeah. This was Tracy Harris Patterson. That can't be him there. Yes. I don't know. I think that's Tracy Harris Patterson there. Yeah. I got my slide display a little mixed up. Okay, but I'll get it back together. But Tracy Harris Patterson is next, right? He was born December 26, 1964, day after Christmas. Wow. And he was born in Grady, Alabama, right? And Tracy is a former 2-division world champion, reigning as super bantamweight champion for 2 years. And he also won the, I think it was lightweight, yeah. Now, Tracy Harris Patterson is the adopted son of former heavyweight world champion Floyd Patterson, okay? And Tracy Harris Patterson retired in 2001 with a professional record of 63 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, 43 by way of knockout. Tracy Harris Patterson. Now, let me get this slide display back on track here. Petey Saran, okay. Let's see. Give me a minute. Petey Saran. That's Petey Saran right there. Yeah. Petey Saran. Okay. Petey is from oh my goodness. Petey was born November 21st, 1906 in Birmingham, Alabama. I don't know where my place marker is at. Oh, it's way back there on another page. Yes. I got it. Petey was born in Birmingham. He's from Birmingham, Alabama. Petey Saran. Okay. Now, he became the National Boxing Association featherweight champion in 1936. The NBA is the precursor to the WBA. Okay. In 1962, they changed from the NBA to the WBA because boxing was becoming so international at that time. So they went from the National Boxing Association to the World Boxing Association, 1962. But it was the NBA when Petey had it. Okay? Yeah. Petey had the NBA Featherweight Championship, 1936. And he lost it in 1937 to guess who? The great Henry Armstrong. Everybody lost to Henry. Henry fought 20 times in 38 and 11 in 39. And remember, I told you, Henry was champion in 3 weight classes simultaneously. And there was only 8 weight classes at that time. And Henry missed being champion in 4 of them because of a controversial draw. He should have been champion in half of the weight classes at one time. One man. And that's who Petey Saran lost his title to. Nothing to hang your head about losing to the great Henry Armstrong. Number 3 on the Cat Sports all-time top 10 list, Henry Armstrong. So Petey lost his title to Henry. Okay. And Petey was a member of the 1924 United States Olympic boxing team, competing in the flyweight division, right? Ooh-wee. And he fought 166 fights. No, 156 fights. He won 119 of them, lost 24, 13 draws, and got 166 fights. He only had 21 knockouts. So I guess it's safe to say he wasn't a power puncher. Horry Faints, hashtag JBT in the building. What's up, Horry Faints? That's one of the JBT's fire technological team. Salute, Horry Faints. In the building. Boxing in Alabama today. Started a new series. Boxing from every state in America every Thursday. And remember, I take all suggestions for shows, so I can have some shows to do on Wednesday. It can be a profile of a former boxer. Just put it in the chat, and it will be done. Yesterday's show was Wednesday. It was brought to you by Jay Hardcore. That show I did on Knockouts yesterday, that was brought to you by the one and only Jay Hardcore himself, the founder of the JBT. Yep, he gave me the idea for that show. Yes, he did. And it was a fire show. So give me some more ideas, Jay Hardcore. Everybody loved that one. Please. Okay, next is Bob Scanlon. Salute, Horry Faints. Don't forget the raffle, too. Let me put it in there again. Put the Cash App in there for you again. $10 for a 55-inch TV. Where they do that at? I told you I got 2 55-inch TVs. I ain't paying no $10 for neither one of them. Somebody's going to win it, too. Will be delivered right to your front door. The drawing is July 13th at the JBT meet and greet at the Boots versus David Avenesian fight. I'm glad I didn't get no ticket. I'm watching it from the house. But you know, when they first said Cody Crowley had backed out, they didn't say who was going to be yet, but the first name out of their mouth was David Avenesian, and I was praying it wouldn't be him, but it ended up being him, and I kind of thought it was, because that was the first name mentioned. But give David his props for taking the fight. Corey backed out. I don't think nothing wrong with his eye. He didn't want to fight Boots in the first place. So you got to give David Avenesian his props. He's taking the fight, okay? Yeah, that's the Cash App to send you $10 to. $, all caps, the number 1 behind it. $ JBT Network 1 for a 55-inch color TV. Unlimited chances. However many you want. You want 100 chances, send $1,000, right? 200 chances, send $2,000. One chance, just send $10. Okay, no, Jack, I'm just kidding. Okay, here we go. But if somebody's going to win it, a 55-inch color TV for $10. Can't beat that. Okay, I'm on Bob Scanlon, right? Now, Bob Scanlon was born February 7th, 1886 in Mobile, Alabama. Bob is from Mobile. Okay? That's Bob up on the screen, I think. Got beside this, but that's Bob. Okay? Bob competed in more than 125 fights, and he spent 3 years fighting in the French army during World War I. How did he wind up way over there? From Mobile, Alabama, wound up fighting in the French army. Wow. Now, Bob found success as a boxer in Europe. Most of his fights were in England and France. And he lived in Paris for most of his life. Yeah, he fought in the French army. Check out his record. He ended his professional career. Check this. 59 wins, 54 losses, 13 draws, and 20 knockouts. Maybe he should have brought his butt back over here and fought. Because he was getting beat over there in England and France. To say he fought most of his fights in Europe, but he 59 wins, 54 losses, 13 draws. Wow. Incredible. 20 knockouts. Bob Scanlon. Next is Herb Siler. Now I know this is right, because these are my last two. That was it. I was right. That's Herb. Not a good picture. You know, Herb was way back there, so it was hard to find a good picture. He was born January 5th, 1935. He's from Brundage, Alabama. First one from that place so far today. Brundage, Alabama. Now, his career started in 1960. He only fought 7 years in 1967. Well, he got in there, so he fought 7 years. Can't say only. He climbed up them steps and got between them ropes. You get my credit. He fought 7 years, right? And his claim to fame is he was in there with the young Cassius Clay in 1960 at the beginning of Clay's career, before he became Muhammad Ali. And he got knocked out by Clay in the 4th round. Okay? And he lost to Cassius Clay, 4th round knockout. In 1972, wow, he was convicted of manslaughter. He did 7 years in prison. And he has a record of 16-12. He finished with a record of 16-12, 7 knockouts. I believe he has a son. He used to play in the NFL. I can't remember his name. Under the same name. He was a linebacker. I remember him. Yeah. I don't think he's playing anymore, though. And last, but certainly not least, is Ray Anderson. Ray was born August 31st, 1944. Ray was born in Anniston, Alabama, right? He competed in the light heavyweight division. Ray did. And Ray's career went from 1965 to 1977, 12 years. And he became the first challenger to last 15 rounds against Bob Foster for the world light heavyweight title. But he lost. And that was his only world title shot. Wow. Lost by decision. Finished his career with a record of 35 wins, 19 losses, 5 draws, 20 knockouts. There you have it. Boxing in Alabama. Next week will be Arizona. We got about 30 minutes. I'm going to put the link in if anybody's interested. Now I can chop it up for a half hour. We got The Voice coming up next. Early in the JBT day. The final presser is today. What was it? I thought it was yesterday. I know I saw a press conference yesterday. And like I said, Frank did a lot better. Because that first one, he was clearly shook. Tank was all up in his face, had him looking at the phone. But Frank's body language was a whole lot better yesterday. I think it was. But we only got, what, 2 wake-ups? Friday and Saturday. And it's on. The face of boxing back in the ring. He fought Ryan in April of last year, right? But Tank said he's glad to be back where he operates at. In that squared circle. Frank predicted a knockout yesterday. Said if Tank comes in there, get out of line, he's going to sleep. That would be something. Earl was there. Earl spoke at the podium, sitting right next to Derek. They're professionals, you know. They know how to do it. One is Frank's trainer, one is his manager. They have to interact. They handle things professionally, you know, as I would expect those two would. 2 good people. Earl Spence and Derek James, yeah. Handled it very professionally. Whatever situation ensuing or whatever's going on between the 2 guys, yeah. And I still don't understand the people that made a big deal out of saying that Earl saying that Frank was going to win or whatever he said. That's his fighter. What in the hell is he supposed to say? I ain't never heard Bob Arum say Loma's going to lose. What is he supposed to say? Frank's supposed to lose. So is Bob Arum a hater? And Frank was sitting right next to him. What are you going to sit there and say, oh, my fighter's going to lose, and the man sitting right there next to you? You probably won't be his promoter too much longer. Yeah. So that wasn't hating. You know, just some crazy people. That was some of them boxing fans. You know the ones. But tomorrow is the profile of John Henry Lewis. Fought in the heavyweight division. Went blind in one eye, lost sight in one eye at the end of his career. Good friends with Joe Lewis. Oh, his career was cut short due to that, you know, his eye problems. 8-year career, he had over 100 fights. Average 14 fights per year, okay? Incredible. 14 fights per year. 3 years, he had 42 fights. That's more than the average fighter's entire career to fight 15 years nowadays. Okay? I just thought that was amazing. Okay. There it is. I know Monday I had the link from the day from last weekend there. Aunt came up and said it was error message on the link. I had last week's. I don't know how I did that. But don't forget, we got some new shows in the JBT. Coach Thomas Morris has Real Prison Talk with Tommy. His link is in the chat. Hit that, subscribe to him. And then we got Angry White Men starting tomorrow with William Old School Orant and D1. And the name fits them like a glove, man. Because they'll be sitting there calm. They go from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds, either one of them. Okay, so be careful when you go in there. I am, you know. But it should be a fire show. I'm glad to be part of this JBT, man. We are going along strong, and it's early in the day because we still got The Voice next. We got the Rise podcast, the Mighty Rise podcast at 9, and you might get a Casuals Corner sometime during the day, remainder of the day, and you might get a BN Boxing News. BN Boxing News is back in the United States. So turn your notifications on for them and hit all. You want all that fire content from them 2 brothers. Fire channels. We got Let's Talk Fashion. He's in between seasons right now, but he got the big 4-hour opener for the next season coming up. Looking forward to that. The big 4-hour season opener. Wow. That's going to be something. Mhm. Let's talk fashion from Remo. Fire show. That's the last show we added so far. Now we got Coach Tommy and uh, Angry White Men. Now, I don't know how many videos Coach Tommy has up now. I know he's got at least one. The first one is up. So, yeah. But his link is pinned in there. And you can hit it and subscribe to it. You won't regret it. Definitely won't regret it. Great addition to the network. Just Boxing Talk. And don't forget the color TV, 55 inches. You know, I'm gonna put the Cash App in there again and pin it. I gotta get my one person for today, man. I'm gonna take credit for somebody else's. Jay getting so many, he don't mind if I take credit for one of his. JBT meet and greet July 13th at the Jerron Ennis versus Cody Crowley fight. No, excuse me, Jerron Ennis David Avenesian fight. I was praying it wouldn't be David Avenesian, but like I told you, man, as soon as they said Cody couldn't make it, it wasn't official yet, but the first name they said was it could be David Avenesian. I said, oh no. But give David credit. He's taking the fight. But Boots should go on to 154, man. I know he wants undisputed at 47, but Boots, you can't get undisputed if the guys ain't fighting. So move on up. Them guys at 154 want the smoke, man. I know where Brian Castano is at now. The exchange rate of the money, like in the United States, I heard $500 is like 40,000 in Argentina where Brian lives, so he ain't got to fight no more. The money he made from the two Jamel fights is probably a billionaire in Argentina now. That's where that brother is at. No wonder he ain't fighting. The man made all that money from those two Jamel fights. The man is probably a billionaire down in Argentina. He don't have to fight anymore. I heard $500 over here. It's like 40,000 down there, man. I got like, if you got like $40 in your pocket right now, that's what, like 1,000 in Argentina? Shoot, that's a good place to relocate to. There's the Cash App for the JBT for the big TV, 54 inch. And then after the first fight after that, the big one is August 3rd. You watch that August 3rd card in style. On that big 55 inch TV. And the picture will be real good because you only paid $10 for it. That'll look real good. You know, gotta be a winner. So far, we're getting up there, like up in the 30s of people that's got in the raffle for it so far. Yeah. July 13th. Devin Haney said Tank has no chance. Wow. He's just hating. That's all that is. He's just hating. Since Ryan beat him, he wants Tank to lose. Jim Lantley said Frank doesn't have a chance. You know, Jim Lantley used to, who was he on HBO? He said Frank has no chance. He said on paper, though. Everybody has a chance once you call up the ropes. Remember yesterday's show? Boxing is the only sport. You can lose every second of every round. And then in the last round, win it with one punch. Only sport. Could say like football. You 3 touchdowns behind. You cannot score 1 touchdown in the fourth quarter and win it. Basketball. You 20 points behind. You can't make a 3-pointer in the fourth quarter and win it. Baseball, you 5 runners behind, you can't hit a 1-run homer and win it. But boxing, you can do it. You can be the victim of a shutout and come back and win with one punch. I didn't do the NBA Finals. Boston takes a 3-0 game lead, commanding 3-0 game lead with a 7-point win last night. I believe it was 106-99, something like that. Boston was led by Jason Tatum with 31 points. Jaylen Brown led at 30. Jaylen Brown is having a really good playoffs. You know, the NCAA tournament, they pick a player of the year, and then they pick an outstanding player from the tournament. The NBA picks the MVP for the season. I think they should pick an outstanding player for the playoffs, too. And I think Jaylen Brown would get it. He has made it believe he has had a really good playoff, man, this year. And for Dallas, Luka had 28. Kyrie finally showed up with 35 points. But he still only had 2 assists. Kyrie's averaging like 2 or 3 assists per game. And, you know, as a point guard, you would rather have like 12 assists than 35 points from him. That shows he's getting everybody else involved, you know. So Boston, it's a wrap, man. 3-0 game. I thought Dallas, I had it 4-2. But game 4 is tomorrow. Boston may sweep them. I know Mike Mazick is happy. What you think about that, Mike? You gonna have the broom out tomorrow? I think Boston may sweep them. I gave Dallas 2 of the 3 games in Dallas, but it don't look like it now. They're not gonna win no 4 games straight. It's hard to win 4 games at any point in the season, definitely in the playoffs. But Boston just has good management, man. You can tell when a team has, like when you have a team like the Wizards that just stay sorry all the time, constantly getting draft picks but never improve. That's the management. Boston has great management, man. You can go all the way back to the Larry Bird years, almost like 40 years ago, and you can count on one hand the number of times that Boston has missed the playoffs. Just consistent success, man, and that's good management. And the Wizards have terrible management because they stay sorry. This is what they do. The Wizards will take a second-round draft choice and trade him for somebody 32, 33 years old, right? So now, 5 years from now, that guy they got for that second-round draft choice is retired out of the league. Now the second-round draft choice is averaging 25 points a game for the next 10, 12 years for some other team. And the Wizards always do that, man. They always do that, you know? Trading away their draft choices for people in their 30s. You don't trade away draft. Only time you trade away a high draft choice is like you're a player away from contention or something like that, you know? But when you consistently in the cellar, you don't do that. I know Porzingis is happy. He went from a perennial cellar dweller, and now he's 1 game away from a ring. He was on a team last season, the Wizards, that never make the playoffs. And now he's on the team 1 win away from the championship. I know he's happy. Probably glad the Wizards let him go. But that's bad management, you know. And the Dallas, good management too. Always in the playoff, always competing. Golden State, look at the dynasties they had. They don't trade away their draft choices. Okay. Only way you do that is you like a player away from contention, and you're getting that player for the draft pick. You don't trade away a draft choice for somebody in their 30s, and you're not even a playoff team. No. I was glad when they left Baltimore and moved to DC. But yeah, anyway, NBA Finals. Boston up 3-0. NBA action is fantastic. Yeah. Game 4 is tomorrow. I'm thinking Dallas will probably win tomorrow. Yeah. Boston will win it back in Boston. I think game 5 will be Sunday, I believe. Yeah. But I know game 4 is tomorrow. Back in Dallas. Then game 5 will be back in Boston on Sunday. Yeah. NBA action. It's playoff time. This is really the only time I watch the NBA because during the rest of the season, they just running up and down the court, not playing no defense. Some of them don't even come past the key on defense. Somebody get the rebound, then they running back down there waving their hand for the ball. But now everybody plays hard this time of the season because you're in reach of that ring. Well, Dallas is not in reach of it anymore, but they made it. You know, your goal each season is to take it one step further. Like last year, Boston made it to the conference finals. This year, they went to the NBA finals, you know. Now, Dallas's job in the offseason is to get what they need to take the next step. I was just talking about how good Boston's management is. Look what they did in the offseason. They made it to the conference finals last year. They go out and get Porzingis. That's what they needed to make that next step, and they made it. Good management. Is Danny Ainge still there? General manager Mike Magic? I don't think so. No, I don't think he is. Danny Ainge was a good general manager too. Yeah. Most of the time, good players like that, the good coaches and general managers are usually the average players. Larry Bird was a good general manager for Indiana. Sometimes you get the superstar players make good general managers. Larry was a good coach too. He took them to their first finals, didn't he remember? They lost it in Indiana a few years back. Yeah. So sometimes it works out, but you know, most times the good coaches are just average players. The superstars don't make real good coaches. I don't know why. That's just how it is. But Larry was a great coach. Danny Ainge was a good general manager. But you don't see too many coaches that would stand out players like that, not normally. And the Lakers is another one, good management. You know, go back 30, 40 years, and you don't see too many times they don't make the playoffs. Teams like the Lakers, Boston, they might fall and not make the playoffs one year. Then they make it for the next 15 years straight. That's management. When a team consistently stays in the cellar losing, you have bad management. Like the example I gave you about the Wizards, you know. Trading away draft choices for 30-year-old guys. Then 5 years, that guy out of the league, your draft choice on another team averaging 25 for the next 10 years. And see, the Wizards could keep all those draft choices and still have Porzingis. But you know, bad management, terrible management. Never get any better. Sometimes it's the owner, because a lot of owners like to have the final say. But that's one person you can't fire. You can't fire the owner. Now, the league can, but you can't fire him just for losing. You know, it's his company, so, you know, you can't get rid of him. I don't even know who owns the Wizards anymore. Just stay over there. Don't come back to Baltimore. I used to go to games over there sometimes. Now you can go in a game over there and sit anywhere you want to sit. Ain't nobody, you can buy a seat for up in the rafters and go sit down at courtside. I didn't go to any games this year. Wasting my money watching the Wizards. Now I'll go see the Ravens. And guess what? Today is the, what's today? The 13th? Pretty soon. What are we, like a little over a month from training camps? What, like mid to late July? They open July 20s. And then we'll be seeing NFL football. The Ravens had their best shot last year on paper, man. They blew it last year. I don't know. They had those two linebackers to anchor their defense, Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen. They lost Patrick Queen. That's going to be a huge loss. That is going to show up big. They don't have nobody to replace him. They got some other good linebackers, but no, him and Patrick Queen anchored that defense, man. I don't know if they'll get back to where they was last year. They might get back to conference championship level, but I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl. That was their best chance last year. But Kansas City got them. You know, the AFC Championship game looked like exactly what it was. Kansas City looked like a team that had been in it like 6 times straight. And the Ravens looked like a team that had only one player on the roster that ever been in a conference championship game, you know. But the defense clamped down in the second half. when Terrell Suggs came out that tunnel and did that dance, it must have worked because the defense didn't give up anything else. But the offense and the rookie Zay Flowers, as porous as he was all season, he looked like a rookie in that last. He made two crucial mistakes. The big one, when he made that catch at the goal line, he got the penalty. They would have been inside the 10. He got the penalty for taunting. Lost 15 yards, took him back outside the 20. And then he had the ball stripped when he caught the pass at the one crossing the goal line on the next play. But if he hadn't got that penalty, they wouldn't have had the pass. They could have gave it to Gus the Bus 4 straight times. He'd have got him in the end zone. So Zay made two crucial mistakes there, man. And he had played poised all season. We forgot he was a rookie. But he showed it at the worst possible time, man. Yeah. Taunting. You can't do that. It's a bogus call, but you can't do it. You know what I think the worst call in football is, though? One more thing on football. That call where they call the lineman for sacking the quarterback too hard. Isn't that ridiculous? You got a 300-something pound man running at full speed. So they expect him when he get to the quarterback, stop on the dime, lift him up and gently sit him on the ground. How the hell can you sack the quarterback too hard? Come on, man, it's football. But I see him make that call so many times, and that's the most ridiculous call in the world. Sacking the quarterback too hard. Who came up with that shit? That's crazy. That's overprotecting the quarterback. Come on, man. Y'all done seen him make that call. They got a name for it, but it boils down to sacking the quarterback too hard. You know, this guy over 300 pounds coming in at full speed, supposed to just stop and just lift the quarterback up and gently sit him down on the ground. Come on, man. It's football. They just hurt the defense so bad. Now, the offensive guy can put his head down and ran right into the defensive guy's chest. The defensive guy put his head down. That's 15 yards. The offensive guy, most of the time, have his hands all over the defender. But the defender put a pinky finger on him, it's a penalty. They want more offense in the game, and they got it. It's to the point where it's too much. They need to revamp some of those rules. Take some of that restriction off the defense, man, because it's getting out of control. But I've seen it all with that sacking the quarterback too hard, man. It's 15 yards. Y'all have seen him make that stupid call. Then what's the flag for? Number 79 put the quarterback down on the ground too hard. It's crazy, man. That's the most ridiculous shit I've seen in my life, man. But football is coming back, though, soon. Like a month. They'll be back out there. I don't think the Ravens going to do as well, though, because of the defense. They lost Patrick Queen. They should have did everything could. I know with the salary cap and all, it's hard to sign everybody, but they should have did all they could to sign him. Because him and Roquan Smith anchored that defense on that linebacker spot, man. Yeah. And now Queen is gone, and they don't have anybody to replace him. They got this guy out of college last year. He was a rookie last year, but no, he's not ready yet. He's good, but he's not ready yet. Queen was a veteran. And he was finally coming into his own. They got him out of Ohio State, and he was finally doing what they drafted him for. Then they get rid of him. I don't get it. I think he went to, it might be Pittsburgh, our rival. And that game was already a rivalry game, and he's going to be triple pumped up now. Y'all got rid of me. And then we got two of our running out with ligaments. I don't know if J.J. Dobbins is going to ever be the same again, man. But let's get back to boxing for the last few minutes. We got The Voice coming up next. I appreciate everybody rocking with me today. We got John Henry Lewis for the profile tomorrow. We have, I don't even have it on the chat. I guess somebody could be responding to. Here's William Old School Rant. What's up, Old School? What's up, Angry White Man? You ready, Old School? Old School, you ready? Tomorrow is the day. Looking forward to that Angry White Man show. There's one of the Angry White Men is in here. We're Old School Rant. He's not angry right now, but it don't take for us. He go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. But salute William, old school. You ready, old school, for tomorrow? We ready for you. I'm looking forward to it. Another addition to the JBT. You subscribe to Coach Tommy, old school? The link is in the chat. I got it pinned. Yeah, Coach Tommy started his Real Prison Talk with Tommy. Yep. So, man, this JBT is taking off, man. We got some fire shows. We got a can't miss one tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Angry White Men. William Old School of Rant D1. And they're going to be good and angry, too. And some of them Devin Haney fanboys going there messing around. That will be ugly. I'll probably just leave, man. That's going to be bad. But it's tomorrow. That's a good thing. Right before the hangout. Angry White Men at 7. The Friday night hangout at 8. BYOW. Bring your own whatever. And come on in there. Being boxing news ain't going to rob it no more. Don't be scared. You know, we got it straight. Yeah, they ain't going to try that no more. Okay? JBT, Just Boxing Talk. A group of people who just love to talk boxing. Now, there's one requirement now to be in the JBT. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. You love to talk boxing? Come on into it and join us. Because that's all we do. Now, I was talking a lot of football at the end, but it's football season almost. You know? Yeah, you come on ready. Oh, you're on after J? Oh, I thought it was 7, old school. It's after J. Okay. Correction. Angry White Men is after the hangout. Okay? They switched up on me and didn't even tell me. They're after the hangout. Okay. Thank you, old school. So it's not 7. What about the Rise, old school? I thought the Rise was after the hangout. How y'all gonna work that out? The Rise is after the hangout. Before Jay. Come on, old school. That's what I said. 7. You're gonna have an angry black man in a minute, old school. Keep it up. But yeah, seriously, the Angry White Men is 7 o'clock before the hangout. Old school says he wished they were after Jay. Okay, why? Well, you can have more time because, you know, Jay comes on at 8. That would be a good one. Why don't y'all wait till 10 after the Rise? Then you got unlimited, can go as long as you want to. There's still a crowd for 10. Y'all should think about that after the Rise, old school. Then you won't be restricted because 7, you're only going to be restricted to an hour, right? But, you know, after the Rise, it's unlimited. You know, that's something to think about. You know what I mean? But I know we got The Voice coming up at 4 today in about 5 minutes. I always get to 20. I got 23. 20 to 25 and just stop. I guess I only got 20 to 25 people that like me. I'm going to get 40 one day, though. I'm going to get 40. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Okay. I got 34 one time. Yeah. That's my record, 34. But I got 23 today. That is good. Okay, tomorrow is, what is tomorrow? I told you I'm on. Somebody tell me, what is tomorrow? It's the profile. John Henry Lewis. I knew all the time. John Henry Lewis. And I need some shows, man. Oh, you get off close to 7, old school? Take your phone. Start it from the phone. I do that sometimes. Start it from the phone, you know? But, yeah, but you got to be on the camera, that's right. What's up with that camera stuff? Everybody can't pull it off about the camera. Because, see, me, I'm doing history and I'm constantly I'm still always Googling and changing pages and searching. And then somebody told me one time, you're doing a podcast, you want people to listen to you. And people listen more intently when they can just hear you and not see you. Okay, that's a fact. You know, you get their attention more to listen to you when they're just listening, right? So I don't know. But everybody has their own style. Okay. You do what works for you. Okay. And that's the best way to be it. Nobody can be you but you. Nobody can do what you do better than you but you. So hey, everybody got their own little nick. This is the JBT. Okay. Yeah. But I'm always changing pages and Googling and searching for stuff. I might say something during the show and I got to know right then what it is, so I'm gone. And it's a podcast. This ain't TV. But everybody got their own little thing, right? I do it off camera. Everybody can't pull it off camera like me. Okay. Okay. But it's almost time for the voice now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it tomorrow, Old School. But today we had William Old School of Rant, hashtag JBT in the building. Corey Finks, hashtag JBT. Bruce Gas Boxing Jazzimo. I heard a person, I ain't gonna say no name, in the chat the other day said that he was Hello? Hello? I'm back. I don't know what happened. Hello? Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm back. I'm glad it happened at the end of the show. I don't know what happened. But everybody have a good. Appreciate everybody for rocking with me. Have a great day. Cast Sports. I'm out.